Yeah. What is the characteristic of this plant growth? That means the all organisms are, if the organisms we can say it's a living organisms is nothing but the, it has to show the some of the general characteristics like plant growth, development, movement, all the things. No, so in that one of the important characteristics plant growth and the development. All plant has shows the growth and development. Generally, in a practical, we are using one instrument called arc axonometer that we can use it for the study of plant growth and the development. This is actually the basic concept. We will not go too much of in detail because you are already learned this, what is a growth and what is development, why this will be happen, that you have seen in the previous years. That's actually in PUC only you have studied this, but in degree you don't have that too much of elaboration of the what is growth and development. Just you will have a definition and some physiological phenomena. They have highlighted it. Why this plant have the growth? That's because of the differentiation. So differentiation is nothing but the actually the recognition of the, that's the cell, tissue and the organ level. They will have the enlargement or the development will be takes place. Okay, so just these are the generally part of the plant, especially the shoot and the root system. So you can find the enlargement, that's the nodal and the internodal region, so you can we find it out. So based on the enlargement or the growth size in those regions, we can be very easily say that the plant is started to growing. Okay, and so the growth is represented by the development of the structure. So reproductively by the formation of the zygote, and by the somatically you can find it out the morphologically difference by the growth cycle. So usually this is how the growth cycle in the reproductive phases. So that's actually zygote will be formed and gametophytic, and later it will be transferred to the sporophytic stages of in some of the basic plant forms are the lower plants. But in case of the angiosperm, you can find the embryogenesis, and later you can find the plant structure. Okay, thallus structure will be, you can find this actually vegetative phase in case of the common plant. So this is the how actually the enlargement occurs in a different plant part, that's a root, shoot and the bud region. So generally here very easily important thing is to the shoot region, so you can find the development, that's especially the apical bud. This is one of the very important region in the plant that will be represented by the growth, and in the intercalary position, that is main two things you can be very easily represent. And another one is a shoot, that's a root tip. So that's also you can be very easily represented that plant is growing. Okay, so now going to the phases of the plant growth. So usually there are three phases in the plant cell development. That's actually the phases of cell division, cell enlargement and cell differentiation, cell differentiation to cell maturation. So these are the different steps, the phases that involved in the growth of the plant. The first phase is a cell division. So usually because of the plant consists of an hormone code, that's a cytokinase will be there. This cytokinase will help for the cell division in the plant. So usually all the multicellular plant, so you can find this type of the cell division. During the cell division what happens, so usually the mitotic division will be occurs. So usually that's one is karyokinesis and another one is called as a cytokinesis. Karyokinesis, what happens in that phase, the nucleus will be divides, and in the cytokinesis what happens, the cytoplasm of the cell will be divides. So usually already I think you have studied in the zoology also, that's the mitotic phases, that's a prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. All these stages you have studied in botany and as well as in zoology also. All these stages, so you can find the different stages of the cell development. So usually initially one single meristematic cell will be there, that divided into 2 cell stages, 4 cell stages, 16 cell stages. Next is a cell enlargement. So once the cell division takes place, that's the enlargement of the cell by enlarging the vacuoles region, especially that will be takes place, and the cell differentiation or the cell maturation. That's a complete cell maturation will be takes place due to that physiological morphological changes will be occur. So based on all these steps, so you can be very easily says that plant will have the growth. So this is a graphical representation how actually the uh, growth occurs in the plant cells. Different, there's a stem, root and the leaf cells will be carried out. So this is an experiment to demonstrate the different phases of the germination of the plants. Okay, so that's a root stage, shoot stage and also the first usually what happens when the seeds started to germinate, first the radical will be formed. That radical will be represented the later root part and primule that will develop into later into the shoot part. So this is how the phases of the growth in the plant. And later so we can study the growth phase, or that's by the growth curvature. This is the graphical representation of the how actually the plant will takes place the growth in relation to the time and the measurement of the cells. So generally what happens in the initial stages, that's in a lag phase, so usually it's a steady phase, so slow growth will be takes place. And in the log phases what happens, it will be started to exponentially increases. So just the graph is showing, just look at the sigmoid graph. Initially the slow growth will be there, suddenly in the log phase it will be completely growth will exponentially takes place, and finally reaches the stationary phases. So this is how the time in relation to the size of the plant organs or the cells. So this is very important. Sometime for the 3 marks question they will be asked, explain the growth phenomena by explaining the growth curve. So this is called as a growth curve. So that's usually sigmoid curve. Okay, so this is a lag phase. So in that initial stages of the growth will be takes place in the log cell. What happens, the maximum and the rapid growth will be occurs during that time. The physiological activity will be more, and later that's simply they represent w1 is equal to w0 ert. It is not too much, you don't take worry about this. So just you can be know that the 3 phases, that's actually the lag phase, log phase and the stationary phase. So in the stationary phase, so completely maturity takes place and it undergo to the stabilization. Okay, so this is how the actually the growth and development takes place in the plant. So next move on to the plant hormones. That's generally we refer it as a phytohormones that we have studied in the last class. Just I have given an introduction about that. So we will go to the in detail. What is the role of these hormones? They will be key role in the growth and development of the plant. That's very important. And this was first by the phytohormone was coined by the Thaman in 1948. And what are its characteristics? So same thing, that's it's a Greek derived word, and it means to, it will be help for the cellular division and the growth of the plant. And again these plants are divided into, hormones are divided into, that's already told, it's the growth promoters and growth inhibitors. So auxilin, gibberellin and cytokinins are the growth promoters, ethylene and abscisic acid are the growth inhibitors. So just we can look at the first one, that's a growth promoter, this axin. Axin was discovered in 1881 by the Charles and Francis Darwin, and they has represented by using the some of the experiment that you can be find it out. So this is an role of the physiological role of the axis that I told in the last class, that induce cell division, cell elongation, apical dominance and root initiation, and also induce the parthenocarpy. And these are all the other physiological role of the axins, that's the promotion of the growth. And these are the artificial, that's the 2,4-D, 2,4,5, these are all the artificial axis, that's the synthesis artificially, they can be used as a herbicides. So next, inhibit the growth and protoperiodism, growth apical, all these are the physiological role of the axins. Okay, and this is an one experiment carried out by the Darwin to demonstrate the how actually the axins will key role in the development of the shoot tissue of the plant. So this is a germination seed here taken. So this is how the light phase, and usually what happens, so in the tip portion, so he has put it the some markers in the shoot portion, and he left the tip portion. Initially he covered it in the shoot tip, and later in the middle portion. So like that, what happens? So when tip is not covered with any outer coverage portion, so suddenly it is started to growth and bending towards the light sources. So this is an experiment demonstration by the Darwin to demonstrate or explain the axons are involved in the shoot development of the plant, or the axons produced at the shoot tip of the plant. So okay, that's unilateral uh, movement of the shoot tip to the light regions. Okay, this is another one experiment to demonstrate that's actually the what's the impact of the axons. Okay, so this is shoot apical dominance experiment. Just first you have to be taken a plant and cut the shoot tip in and placed in agar medium. It started to differentiate. So if you take the other portion that are not too much of differentiating. Okay, so this is a structure of the different axons, that's the IA, indole, acetic acid, and also the trophin. So these are the two different axons artificially synthesized. They can be used as a common sources of the axons. Okay, these are the some synthetic axons, such NAA, IBA. So that's the thing. The next one is a gibberellin. That gibberellin I already told, that's isolated from an fungi, that's a Gibberella fusicori. Okay, and more than 200 different types of gibberellin, that's GA, was extracted in the plant, and this is how the actually the activity of the gibberellin will be takes place, and various GA1, GA2, GA3. So like that, the various type of gibberellins were isolated from the plant and also from the fungi, that's the Gibberella fusicori. So what is the physiological role? That's actually these are the that induce the cell elongation, parthenocarpy, breaking the seed dormancy, induce bolting and the flowering. These are all the physiological effect of the gibberellins. Okay, and next one is a cytokinin. So this is an hormone that will already told the cell for the cell differentiation and the cell division. So these are the natural one, that's a chitin and adenine or the natural one, and the BFE is also a type of the cytokinin. So these are structure. Sometime for the 2 marks they will ask for the structure, chitin structure may be asked for the writing in the examination. This is an experiment to demonstrate the how actually in the laterally meristems will grow because of the growth and also by the differentiation in the cytokinesis. Okay, so how actually this the role of the cytokinin in the growth development. Just take the axin in high concentration and cytokinin in low concentration. What happens? The only root will start into axin in low concentration and cytokinin in high concentration. The shoot initiation takes place. The root initiation will not takes place. Axin and the cytokinin in less quantity. Shoot meristematic will not divides. Okay, so this is the impact of the axin and the cytokinin in the artificial media. So if they give more the quantity of the cytokinin, what happens? The shoot level and the cell elongation and cell differentiation in the shoot region will be takes place. So the physiological effect of the cytokinin on the usually that promote the cell division, cell enlargement, and induce the lateral bud development, help in the chloroplast maturation and chlorophyll synthesis, and help for the breaking of seed dormancy and delay in the senescence. These are the physiological roles. The next is the plant growth inhibitors. So that's one is the abscisic acid. This is synthesized in the mature fruit, roots, caps, and also in the leaves. But what is its physiological role? They will senescence, that will be they will inhibit the growth. That means they promote the senescence, means they will cause the shedding of the leaf and promote the bud dormancy and the seed dormancy. So gibberellic acid ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಹಿಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಬಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಮಿನೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಮಿನೆನ್ಸಿ. ಆಬ್ಸಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ and inhibit the ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೀಡ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಸಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಇನ್ಹೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಗಿಬ್ರಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆದರೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಟ್ ಆಪ್ಸಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಗಿಬ್ರಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. And it also functioning as a anti-transparent hormone, that's abscisic acid. The next one, this is how the role of that's the bud dormancy will due to occur due to the formation of or accumulation of the abscisic acid. Next one is a ethylene. So this is another one type. Generally we call it as a ripening hormone, because especially this ethylene is used for the ripening of the plant, fruits. So usually the physiological effect, it helps in the fruit ripening, promote the senescence, and it is initially formation of a root and formation of the parenchyma, and it inhibit the elongation and increase the stem thickening. So all these will key role in the formation of the ethylene. So this is the physiological effect of the ethylene. So this is a generally gaseous hormone, ethylene. Sometime for the 2 marks question they will ask, give an example for gaseous hormone. That's the ethylene is called as a gaseous hormone. This is a structure, that's a H2C and CH2, then structure, and even sometime they will be suppress the stem and root elongation. Okay, so next move on to the another concept, that's a photoperiodism. So in the photoperiodism, based on the light intensity, we will be differentiated into a photoperiodism. That's a long day plant and short day and day neutral plant that we will be studying in the next classes.